Not all crossovers are boring. Some are stylish, refined, and fun. Crossovers like the Ford Edge and Nissan Murano. When the Murano first came out, it looked like no other crossover on the road. With futuristic concept car styling, it really was form over function and showed the world this was not a family hauling snoozer. Now in its third generation, the Murano still oozes style, but things seem to have been toned down a bit, or maybe Nissan's other designs have gotten crazier. Either way, this really does have family resemblance now. Power comes from a familiar 3.5-liter V6 that now makes 260 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Being a Nissan product, gear-changing duties are handled by a continuously variable transmission. If there's one word to describe this powertrain, it is smooth. Power is instant and constant, as there are no peaks or valleys in the big V6 power delivery. That said, it does take a lot of RPM to get the most out of the engine. At just over 4,000 pounds as tested, the Murano is the lighter vehicle of the two, and it shows in corners. It's more willing to rotate through the bends, and overall it is a little more engaging. The steering is looser and lighter in here, but it still better communicates to the driver what the vehicle is doing. Overall, the Murano is the more fun vehicle to drive, but that's not saying much, as these are still just crossovers. So the Edge is boring to drive. Fine, it makes up for it in other ways. For starters, it is incredibly smooth on the highway, and it is so quiet inside. Ford has been doing a good job lately of isolating passengers from outside noise, harshness, and vibrations, and the Edge is no exception. In fact, it's so quiet and vibration-free in here, I kind of feel like I'm driving the Lincoln MKX. I also prefer the Edge's brakes, as the Muranos can feel spongy at times, and Ford has done a good job with rebound control, as the Murano can get bouncy on rougher pavement. The Edge's steering is better weighted, and I do like it more than the Muranos, even if it is number than your legs after sitting on the toilet seat too long. Like the Murano, the Edge can be had with a 3.5-liter V6, but it returns pretty horrible fuel economy. So to combat that, Ford offers a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that makes 245 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque on premium gasoline. Surprisingly, when equipped with all-wheel drive, it's actually slightly less efficient than the Murano with its V6 and all-wheel drive. And during real-world testing, we found the Edge was about a quarter mile per gallon worse overall. This can be blamed due to a higher curb weight and slightly less efficient 6-speed automatic transmission. The turbo engine and 6-speed do offer good response and overall refinement, but they can't quite match the smoothness of the Murano's drivetrain, nor do they match that V6 sound. But the more usable torque from the turbocharged engine is welcome in everyday driving. Those looking to tow a boat or small camper trailer should pay attention here. With the V6 or the turbocharged 4-cylinder, the Edge can be rated to tow 3,500 pounds with the right package. The Murano, it's only ever rated to tow 1,500 pounds. The new Edge wears an attractive, modern, aggressive style, and in my mind, it's the better looking vehicle of the two. But in the interior, the opposite is true. Although this is a well laid out, quality feeling interior, it's lacking any real style. The Murano also has a quality, well laid out interior, but it has an added dose of style. The only problem is there are still some old switch gears left in the Nissan that seem to come from a bygone era. And speaking of bygone eras, Ford has finally ditched My Ford Touch and replaced it with Sync 3. Now, not only is Sync 3 an improvement, it's downright great. But not to be outdone, Nissan also has a new version of Nissan Connect that's just as user-friendly and easy to use. For some reason, automakers think precious metals make for good trim packages, so here it's the Ford Edge Titanium against the Nissan Murano Platinum. Anyone who has to spend any time in the back seat of either vehicle shouldn't be too upset. They both offer a lot of space and comfort. Although the Edge has more space on paper, it's the Murano that's actually the more spacious, more comfortable back seat. But when it comes to cargo, things switch. Whereas the Edge not only has more overall cargo capacity, it actually has a lower load floor as well. As equipped, both vehicles come loaded with features like adaptive cruise control, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, and panoramic sunroofs. The Edge takes things a step further by offering automated parking assist, rain-sensing wipers, and active lane keep. The Murano counters with 360-degree parking cameras and power folding rear seats. Overall, the Murano is stylish, spacious, and kind of fun to drive, but it's missing that refinement found in the Edge. The Edge, on the other hand, is refined, spacious, and stylish as well, but it's not all that fun to drive. So which to pick? Well, the Murano is about $2,800 cheaper as tested, and it scored slightly higher on the IIHS crash test. But for my money, I would pick the Ford. It's a better put together, more premium package that edges the Murano in this comparison.